Hello, Warriors. The Mike and Dale Show, Thursday, 4/13. Mike, almost halfway through the month. Are we playing hopscotch again? They didn't like the inflation numbers yesterday. They love them today. Are you on 2 feet or one right now?
I have to rethrow the rock again. I missed it. Don't you play hopscotch with the rock, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
you have to land it in the box. So,
well,
I've,
my bocce ball skills I'm sure will make up for it. But yeah,
oh,
they
I'll
threw me
say,
off and says, yeah, next.
okay, we'll play in about 40 years. So, what's the leadership today? What held up well yesterday? I thought we were going to have a pretty good sell after making new highs. Looked for that last Tuesday's highs to be taken out to sell it. And that worked, but can't get 2 days of follow through. You made the comment yesterday. We don't know if it's a reversal till it closes, and it closed bad, but it sure wasn't much of a reversal with no follow through to that down date today.
You know what, Coach? I thought, listen, I'm stuck. I don't know if I don't know what the word is. I showed my positions. I still have a lot. I'm making a lot of schnitzels. For example, let me go to my chart for a second. I'm day trading well to make up for
Positions
for
for
more
poor,
position losses.
yeah.
GDXJ was a good trade for me. 43.70 to 43 was a nice trade. Believe me, at 8,000. A lot of the fades.
It's interesting, Mike, because I was going to bring it up. I covered miners early. I didn't expect this much strength in silver. And yet I've played silver to the short side several times over the last couple of weeks. And it proves that if you have good timing, you could be the wrong way on the general trend and still pick spots tactically to where the market is going to give something back. And, that's what I've been doing in silver. Although I'd rather be able to reinstate my miner's position back to the Friday before SVB. Anyway, so you can be a counter trend trader and make money if you have good timing. I guess that's the point. And sometimes I get run over, but there have been some decent silver scalps. I'm trying it again today, and I'll try it again Monday or Tuesday. I haven't been stopped out. You take 20 to 50 cents, but I do believe, Mike, I know I sound like the boy who cried
No,
wolf,
it's all good, Coach.
that we're getting close to a dollar capitulation to the downside,
Coach,
which will go
I
ahead.
agree with you. So I'm sorry because you're about to edify your point.
No, it's
The
okay.
biggest moves comes at the end. That's why it's hurt now. You know that.
I know. I know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I
Go ahead.
it's okay. Yeah. So that I think we're in the blow off stage. Okay. So, it's not easy to top pick, but if you use some divergences and you have, decent money stops, it could be done. But I still think that we're close to both a dollar bottom and I mean the whole world is negative the dollar. I'm meeting with some farmers today later on to talk to them in a meeting. They're very concerned about the dollar. Everyone's hearing de-dollarization.
Kidding me? Are
They're
you really?
it's my
You're meeting with
Blake.
farmers today to discuss the dollar?
Yeah,
That's
everyone's worried about the
incredible.
dollar.
That's
Right.
incredible, Coach. That's like Bud Fox going in and dressing in as the repairman and getting inside.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be introduced as Buck Cash.
Okay. At
But
least it wasn't
anyway,
Buck. At least it wasn't Buck naked.
yeah, but anyway, and I've had
GXO.
other people say that their cleaning lady is concerned about the dollar and asking about gold. So I mean, this is really infiltrating. Um, you know, a lot of people are worried about the dollar. People are scared about the dollar. They read articles about, what China wants to do, and the Saudi Arabia butting up with China, and maybe that's to be less dollar demand to be paid in oil. So anyway, that's a key. I mean, the key to everything, as long as the dollar keeps going down, the market's okay. It didn't care about a weak dollar yesterday. Today it's happy about it. But in general, a strong dollar is going to be a wrecking ball if there's ever a turn in the dollar. I don't think we're that far away. Maybe one figure away in euro.
See the
Uh,
thing.
Go ahead.
No, I noted, but by the way, this is the most sensitive trade on the board to a degree right now. As we're playing hopscotch with, like I said, the market loves a CPI and bad PPI, CPI, PPI. I don't, it's not, listen, I don't, this, if, you know how when athletes say when they don't enjoy or have a fervor for the game anymore, they retire. When I have to start doing the opposite of what I think, then I'm going to have to call it quits. I don't want to be doing that. And this, as I said before, this up and down between the, the PPI and the CPI, it really was if you wanted, it's like a George Costanza, you wanted to do the opposite of what the retail money was going to do.
Usually right.
I understand that.
Yeah, usually.
And I just, it just, I actually thought last night was a good overnight. It was a good overnight long play.
All right, so let me direct you a little bit. So semis came off. They came off pretty good. Is today's rebound convincing enough for you to think that things like the SMH or NVIDIA is going to make a new high after
No.
this pullback?
As a matter of fact, the wise money right here, if who's that? And I'm not going to say my guy is shorting the video here. I'm
Okay.
right in.
Yeah,
So
even if it makes a new high, the RSI won't confirm. So the semiconductors, which were the leaders, aren't acting good. I see that Microsoft also held major support once again. It closed right on it yesterday and it's up today. You want to show Microsoft, and people know what I'm talking about.
absolutely. By the
Mr.
way, you know what
Mr. Softy.
the irony
See?
is? The irony is our interim trades have been a very, very high percentage. Our macro opinions, it's just, you know what, that we know what we got caught into. And I'm saying just where I sit is that my fundamental bearish side has superseded the bullish technical side to some degree for some time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't get out of my head what you posted in the room about hedge funds having the biggest, largest hedges on shorts since 2011. To me, that's a big deal.
Coach, NAM, it ticks down a bit. You know what I mean? So I don't, look, most of you want answers. You don't want free passes for even.
So you know what,
the answers. You know what I mean?
bull, yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Look,
So your approach, go ahead.
My approach is I've been
to get a hole in one.
trading very, very well until I started to take a hypocritical, what I did, I was a hypocrite and I'm human. At least I call myself out on it. Doesn't make it right. Is that I picked the direction of the market instead of worrying about price action.
Right.
I mean,
we're human
every day. I'm trying. Everybody know, like we said, when I'm not alone, it doesn't make it right again. But AU is a crowded short, and instead of realizing the day is going to come, and I'll know it when it's really a time to be shorted, if it's ever a time to be shorted. But instead, like I said in the car this morning, as I was driving around thinking into Lake George, New York, a beautiful day, and I was actually, taking some things in. Is that you'll know when it's time. You know what I mean? It's going to be this type of situation. I thought the volume yesterday was a blow, especially with that red bar.
Yeah.
GDX day, and I did trade it well, but I could have came in flat. Except, I mean, I was AEM yesterday. I was the only one in America shorting this thing. The same thing happened again from 59 to 58, but the trade's not over. The short's not over. I could have waited instead of coming short in overnight. When the stock closed
and done it again this morning.
And then I got to be a wizard just to break even and have that proverbial go against the trade and even get lucky on going against the trade to break even. So that's a hard trade. I'm aggravated. A real trader, if I may, will know when the time is to go short. But by the way, trading them intraday, our calls have been good. But having that micro view and a market pick is, the RSI, as you said, is you made a point about the RSI and AU. Even go to a daily hasn't been this high in years. Now I go to a weekly. Now now it's got maybe a little bit more pop in it. Maybe it gets to this RSI above here at 82. And if it does get to an 82 RSI on the weekly, with a lot of these calls going off to the middle of the year to end of the year, the RSI is 72, 82. The stock could be $32. I don't want that to happen. You see, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So I'm right in the right church, wrong pew. There are better trades, but I'm in it. I'm hypocritical, but I'm trading the other ones to get out of it. And once again, it's a couple of things where you might I'm not down in it a lot, but the position, the trade turned into a position. That's all.
Yep.
That's all.
I've
Next,
done it.
I don't know what
Okay.
else to say. Zoom. That's it. The CXAI was it this GFAI, by the way, we alerted in the room yesterday. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. Yesterday, I alerted what? Coach, where was it?
Yeah.
Like 13, it hit 39. Here are all the hot stocks on the bottom right of my screen. The CXAI goes with that one. It's having its day to no surprise. And they just rotated. They took in, I'm not, like I said, I'm not in it. If I'm aware of it. Obviously, stock went to 280 to 480. It's up what 200%.
Yeah.
But that's not my type of trade in the moment. It's just telling me that it still is a little bit of FOMO in the market. I got my hands full on another thing, but Nevada's only up at Disney's at the 100-century mark. Uber, we said a lot of calls were going up. Delta Airlines had the earnings in reverse. Now it's in a precipitous position where they're not really sure what they're going to do. How's the volume in Delta? Delta, it's still hopscotch.
I remember you were buying the bottom in J&J.
The J&J was good. I have it in the fund, and you know what?
That was a huge trade.
Well, that was capitulation. That was a capitulation, Dave.
Yeah, you were down in the 150s range. You were buying that.
Listen, Coach, if I really thought it was one of those meat on the bone trades where I could take 10,000 shares and make $4 or $5 in it, it's that old cliche. When you have a lot of shares, when you have too much shares and you're watching every tick, you have too much. But I didn't have a lot. I didn't have to micromanage, and I wasn't worried about share positioning because I wanted to add it. I just let it go, and here you are. I bought at $14.
Nice.
So, it's never a full position trade, or else I'd be like this. But it is what it is.
How's Tesla looking, buddy? Well, you have a view on Tesla?
Tesla, I covered. Yeah, Tesla under 180 is still a short. I shorted it yesterday. I covered it at the close. 180 is the spot right here.
Yeah.
Actually, matter of fact, 170 to 179 is the spot. But the key today was when BABA pre-announced and SoftBank was selling its shares. I don't want to say SoftBank says the jinx or that's the bottom, but the stock did make a nice move to recover on the 200-day BABA. So you got to keep that in mind as price action over relative, price action over sentiment. Certainly, we'll leave it there. But here's my board. I don't want to say what's leading, but Schwab can't find any footing anymore. Fizzler got a downgrade. Coin, Riot still going. Disney at par. Like I said, Delta had earnings, was positive to negative. No one's really sure. Now Walmart's negative.
Let's see the coin chart. It might be setting up a fill of the gap. Let's see the date.
I'll tell
there.
you.
Okay. Where's that gap filled?
70. Well, that's way above.
See that gap down we had there? Yeah, 77. You get a chance to sell it up around there, 77. I'd take a shot. Anyway,
Wise guy trade. Hold on, I am short Riot. Wise guy trade. Where am I shorted from?
You were bullish, Riot. You were long the other day.
Hold on a second. When we came on here, it's 11. On my average price on Riot is a short of what? 1309. I'm short a little of it. Yeah, I'm bullish on Riot. But look, it's a big extension. It's never got above the RSI. It's a day trade.
I like it.
If I'm wrong, I'll lose 30 cents. I'm not going to say I'm going to buy 20 and let it opens up down tomorrow. 20,000 shares and hoping it opens down on 60 cents and I make 20 cents on taking a 20,000 share contra trade risk. What do I have? I'll show you what I have. I don't have much Riot. Boom. How much Riot do I have? I have 6,800 shares. So I'm down 6,800 shares. My average price is 1309. It's 1340. I'm down $2,000. It's not going to get worse, believe me. So whatever.
Okay.
Trade.
All right.
I'm out of breath. I tell you right now, I got to take Tony P on more hikes because if I do this, I'm out of breath there.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So how would you characterize the week?
It's been a good week. It's been a good week, but it's not how you start. It's how you finish as they are. It's been a hopscotch week. It's just.
Are you looking to recommit to shorts in AMD, which you sold the high of? I know, or are you getting long AMD looking for?
No, I'm not getting long AMD. As a matter of fact, the stock I'm looking to get short, and it was turning out to be one. It's fresh money to a degree. Is this Global Foundry GFS? I think,
like AMD. I know you thought it was a bull flag, but it's starting to get too elongated. in my view, for it to be,
No, like I agree. It goes
you
with
know,
committee. I think AMD is being held up a little bit by the surge of Bitcoin to the 30,000 area, to be honest.
oh, okay, all
I
right,
think I think if Bitcoin wasn't as strong, I think
okay.
AMD would be getting
So
out.
if Bitcoin's topping out here for a correction, AMD should get hit.
We'll say that.
Is that what you think?
Uh,
Okay,
yeah, it should. Yes, it should. XP still going. You know, these other stocks are acting well. These Brazilian banks that, it doesn't look like much, but a stock from 950 to 1120.
pretty
Some of these
nice.
things, Amazon looked like it was over yesterday. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at the volume in Amazon.
yeah.
The most back-to-back volume it's had in some time. And it wound up finishing on the low yesterday, breaking all the moving averages on volume.
Yeah, and now it
Now
looks
that
okay.
I thought it would, well, now it looks okay. I get it, but there,
Yeah,
now it's in the proverbial danger zone. People are stuck in both ways. But
who knows? Yeah,
I
all
thought
these are,
I thought that was a good, coach. I thought that was a good tell. I'm in. What am I in? What's that freaking stock? Zoom. I thought Zoom. I was very. Look at this, coach. Look at the volume back to back. Zoom finished, but well below any day. It's now I'm in it. Now I'm in Zoom. My average. I'll show you what it is. I had a mark in it, but it opened here. My average price of Zoom is 68.40. Right now it's 69.40. I have a decent amount, I think. Zoom, I have 4,000, so that's a decent trade. But what am I going to do here? Here's the gap. I didn't think it'd go against the 69.40. It did a couple of days ago. I have a little bit of a backstop on maybe a 70 strike price to maybe have a little bit of resistance here. But certainly, if the market keeps going, I'm not going to get stubborn on it, because then maybe it does go back and retrace resistance to 73 or something. Then I'm stuck $6 and I don't want to be. And then God forbid it goes above the 50-day. So that's the hopscotch. And just one stock, forget about the market. You know what I mean?
okay, buddy.
Aside from the market.
All right, so where are you going to be throwing the rock?
I don't know. I'm not going to be trying to be a hero here, coach. I'm going to start light. If they work, they work.
Yeah,
Netflix got a big downgrade today. I believe it went positive. Target that, Weight Watchers still again. Look at this mother. You know what I mean? This went above the RSI now. Weight Watchers. I don't want to tell you. You guys know anybody that follows me know I had almost 6 figures of Weight Watchers from 4. Now it's 7. I sold it. So CXAI, you don't have to worry
nice.
about what the market's doing. Stock of the day. The mega caps are in the top left. Let's see what they're doing. Google looks, maybe this is the chart for today, maybe a little double top short term. Not saying it's over. Just for trade, it is at 107. What a recovery. You can never know. Yesterday it looked like it was going to do the same thing. Now I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Just
That's
don't
okay.
know.
You know what? It's actually good to acknowledge you don't know.
And when I don't know, I go to this.
Yes.
I just see what the wise guys are doing, and maybe they'll back up what I'm doing or not. And I'll just start. You know what? With this thing,
So are you getting
I don't know,
any sweeps?
I'm going to tell you. When I say I don't know, you know what I do?
You
I
go to
shut
your
my-
Twitter
no,
list.
No, I shut my monitor off, and I look at my positions. And I look at my positions without knowing what. Oh, I actually know where they are. Obviously, and I reevaluate every position. I say, if I wasn't in this position at this moment, would I start a position in it now?
Great question.
So I would reevaluate it. If I say this looks good, if I'm iffy, maybe I'll get out of 30%, because believe me, it'll get worse. So what I do is I just say, for example, Zoom. I'd say to myself, if I wasn't short Zoom, would I take a position in Zoom now? What else is another one that if I wasn't short a little bit of Riot, would I start a position now, or would I wait a little bit, maybe to an afternoon blow off top, blah, 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 whatever. And that's how, when I don't know, that's how I usually start. Then I try to be objective, and I go on for there. And then that's it. Then I'll go to the sweeps, and we'll leave it at here. Pardon me.
Thanks for sharing your process.
Yeah. Well, I didn't make it up.
I know. Yeah, everyone has a process. I like that.
ISEE animal. So ISE Meta April calls, not interested. There's a chart on CG, not interested. SCPH stock of the day. That's a floater. So Mara bullish only till April 23rd. What's today? So
that's 10 days.
All right. So they're going out day, May 23rd.
You got some Riot bearish action.
Well, that's right. And here, this is Flow Jesus. The anti-VIX remains a non-factor. Anti-VIX means where the market is. It's basically neutral as we sit today. So you know what? Again, it's been a little bit, it's been volatile. It's 11:25 a.m., give or take. So regroup. It's only, there's been a lot going on in the week. There's a hopscotch. There's been there's been a lot of stuff going on per daily than there has been normally within a month. Listen, this is a tough, listen, this is a defensive day. Now I'm playing
Okay.
deep. Now with my positions, I'm like, like I said, when I go back and reevaluate, I'm actually playing more defense than offense. If it's working, I'll see why. And I don't necessarily think I'm going to add because it's that everything's neutral. I don't know if it's going to be that type of day. You know what I mean?
The message of your process is more valuable than your great trades that you talked about today, because I know it becomes self-talk for me when I hear other traders go through their process. It reminds me to be doing the same. So thanks for opening up and sharing what took you years of blood, sweat, and tears to get to, bro. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay. Cheers, everyone. And it's a pleasure. We're always in the room. We're here all day. I love when I come back and hear, the room talks amongst each other. Propels me to be better. And just like I said, Microsoft breaking high, XP breaking.
If you trade cable, and you're watching this, you got to come into our main trading room. Cable guy really scalps away at cable like Mike does at stocks. So pretty good hit rate. So join.
Another self-deprecating individual that gets it. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah,
He's humble and he has no
yeah,
ego. We're
yeah.
lucky to have him in the room.
All right, buddy. So great working with you again this week, Mike.
Okay.
Hope the week finishes in the green for you.
Yeah.
And thanks for teaching us today. You're a good mentor.
Well, I appreciate that, guys. And remember, just like anything, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint, and that's why, you have to I have to remind myself too. And you can always get back in. You can always get back in. And the good thing is, as you get older or more experienced, you know what? Just like a lot of the market fundamentals are usually out the window, and it gets basically to sentiment. The best thing that gets you to buy is your inner gut, your gut sentiment. Trust me, that's where you want to be. It does not come down to a formula, or else everybody would just be chasing formulas. And there is still human emotion, as Coach edified a couple of days ago. So, you just remember, the room is about getting to know my point being is, when everybody talks among themselves, it's not that everybody's catching Mara all together. It's that everybody is at least knowing their style and their parameters. Sometimes we won't hear for TJ for 18 hours. Guy takes money off the table. Paul, talks all the time. Lewis has gotten more disciplined. It's my job to be in here all the time actively. So what I'm most proud of is that people are developing their styling and knowing that the room is about more quality and not quantity. So I appreciate that. Cheers. Have a plan. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. That's called community, bro.
Yeah.
All right.